Have you ever said to yourself something like, I'll just start tomorrow, or one more day won't hurt? Trust me, I have as well. But saying these things will actually make it harder to regain discipline in the future. If your answer is yes, like me, and you can't seem to stop saying that to yourself, you've come to the right place. First, I want to say that you are not alone. Many people have had a hard time with discipline. The definition of discipline is the practice of training yourself to obey rules and guidelines you may have. Or, in simple terms, doing what needs to be done when you have no motivation and don't feel like doing it. Over the past few months, I've been trying to really push myself to figure out ways to better self-discipline, and this is what I came up with. Step one is if you are going to do something and if you commit to doing something, just do it. Now, obviously, this is easier said than done. Obviously, it'd be easier to just have that motivation right from the start. A lot of people will ask, how do you do something when you have no motivation to do it, but it's a goal and you want to get it done? Well, honestly, the only real answer that I can give you is you just have to try and keep going until you get there. Motivation will come when you start doing it. And for some people, it will come beforehand because they're determined. And for other people, it won't come until they're halfway into their goal. Now, with this being said, I'm gonna put it into perspective for you. Let's imagine you have to go to work and you have to be there at 7 a.m. Naturally, you're not gonna question if you have to go. You're going to show up there at 7 a.m. whether you want to or not because you need this job. Same thing for school. A lot of people don't wanna go to school. When I was in college, I didn't wanna go. But for some reason, I was always showing up to my classes when I needed to be there. Why? Well, number one, that's a form of discipline. But number two, it's something that doesn't necessarily only relate to you. What do I mean by this? Other people are relying on you to show up, so naturally you show up. So when you think about it, why can't we do this with ourselves? If I want to lose weight, why can't I just commit to doing the things I need to do? Honestly, I think the answer is because it relates to ourselves. When something relates to other people, we are more determined to show up and be there because it doesn't only relate to our goals. But when it's something that we don't necessarily have to do and it's just a goal, a lot of the times, especially myself, I find myself slacking. I find myself giving myself those excuses where I say, I'll just start tomorrow, or one more day won't hurt, or something like that. And like I said before, yes, this is true. Technically, one more day won't make that much of a difference. But if you're gonna think about it like that, then also think about it as if I start today, I will be one more day closer to my goal than if I start tomorrow. That's how I started my actual goal, and that's how I was actually determined to figure out what I needed to do in order to get from point A to point B. It really all does start with motivation, yes, but most of the time, some people won't be able to have that motivation, myself included. For example, in the beginning of my weight loss journey, I had no motivation. I just felt like I should quit every single day. Did I? No. Did it benefit me in the end? Yes. But was I feeling those feelings? Yes. And I feel like it's very important to say that because everyone goes through it. It's normal. But when we allow ourselves to realize that there's a different perspective on it, then your mindset will start to change. Number two, I have your goal in mind. Now, a lot of people may be thinking, well, of course I'm going to have my goal in mind, and that's perfect. But what I want to say about this is once you have your goal in mind, make sure that you are starting small. Now, I don't mean pick a goal that's small. While you can do that, and that's perfectly fine, and I hope you reach it, what I'm saying is if you have a big goal, don't limit it, but realize that you have to start small with how to get that goal. So what do I mean? For example, when I was starting my weight loss journey, I wanted to lose 50 pounds. At the time, I was around 200 pounds, and I wanted to at least get to 150. My real goal was 70 pounds because I wanted to get to 130, but in the beginning I was like, all right, how am I going to lose 50 pounds? Now, when I think about it now, what I should have done is said, how am I going to lose 10 pounds? And then once I did that, I would have been more motivated and it would have allowed me to continue trying to reach my goal while not being as stressed out because I already have proven to myself that I can lose 10 pounds. There is obviously other goals that so many of you will have, and maybe they're fitness related, maybe they're college related, maybe they're school related, maybe they're personal, maybe they're work related. Whatever that goal is, my advice is to start small. Again, that is not me saying don't have a big goal. Of course you should have big goals, but you should also have small goals within that big goal. What that's going to do is that's going to allow you to become more motivated and have more discipline to get to that goal by the time that you want to get by it too. So what do I mean by this? Have set dates. For example, for myself, I would say I want to lose 10 pounds in a month. I would weigh myself in the beginning when I started, and then I would also weigh myself after that month to see my progress. Once I saw the 10 pounds came off, off and I saw that I was able to reach my goal, I was so much more motivated, more disciplined, and this is how I taught myself to become more disciplined in what I am doing on a day-to-day basis. Understand that there is going to be hard times that come with goal setting and that come with discipline. There is going to be times where you don't want to go to the gym. There's going to be times where you don't want to do something that is going to help you reach your goal. That's where discipline comes in. I'm not saying it's easy to push yourself. I'm not saying it's easy to get where you want to be. I'm just saying that there is going to be hard times. Some days it will be so much easier to just push yourself and do what you need to do to get one step closer and one day closer to your goal. Other days it'll feel impossible. For example, when I was trying to lose weight, some days I would easily want to go to the gym. I'd be like, all right, let's go to Orange Theory. I feel so motivated. Other days, 5 a.m. would roll around and I'd be sitting there in bed and questioning why I was waking up at 5 a.m. Why I was trying to reach a goal that was so impossible. But that's when mindset comes in. What I would tell myself is, stop it. You already came so far. You already did so much that you didn't think you were able to do, and you proved yourself wrong. So if you are someone who is questioning why you're doing something or what's the purpose if you're not going to reach your goal or whatever it may be, stop that. Change your mindset. And I'm not saying those negative thoughts won't come, because they will. I'm just saying whenever they do come, change your mindset into something positive, because you can do it, and it really does depend on your mindset. So yes, it will be hard when hard days come with discipline to just get up and do what you need to do to reach your goal, but you are able to do it, and just remember that it's normal to feel that way, but you can do it if you set your mind to it. Stay in a routine. What I found worked for me is whenever I would fall out of a routine, I was less likely to get up in the morning and go to the gym. Whenever I fell out of a routine with my college goals, I wouldn't want to go to class, and sometimes I would see myself even not going to class. This is because I fell out of a routine. This is because I didn't allow myself to do the things that I needed to do to be my best self. And I want to say that getting back into a routine is actually really hard, at least for me, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. I'm not asking you to come up with this huge routine that you're going to have to stick to every day. No, that's unrealistic. We all have off days, and that's okay. It's actually important to have off days so that you're more likely to want to do your routine. Your routine should be something that, yes, includes discipline, but is also something you enjoy. So what do I suggest you do? Add something that you love within your routine. And while you are doing all those hard things that will get you to your goal, you'll be thinking about the outcome of your goal and also that reward that's in your routine, and it'll push you through. Yes, that is a form of, if I do this, I'll get this, which is good because it will push you to get through and it will push you to get to your goal. But you also have a reward at the end of it, which will help your discipline get a lot better, and maybe one day you won't even need that reward. However, I suggest you still do it because you should always be doing something that you love. My next tip is to have a tracker. Depending on what your goal is, I honestly just mean have a tracker of each month that you complete every day of your goal. Let's say my goal is to go to the gym every single day except Sundays every single week for 6 months. That will ultimately allow me to reach my goal, which is weight loss, and that will ultimately allow me to first check off a little box every day of my habit tracker when I go to the gym, which is so satisfying. And at the end of the 6 months, I'll be able to look at it and be like, wow, I proved myself wrong. I did this. And honestly, there's just something so satisfying about being able to check off a box and being like, I did that, that honestly changed everything for me. One of my next steps is honestly probably something that I feel like many people won't necessarily talk about all the time, but I'm going to talk about it because it's so important. And that is, allow yourself to feel your feelings. When it comes to goals, a lot of people just portray themselves as someone who wants to reach their goal and then reach their goal. Many people don't talk about the hard times within those couple months or couple years that allow them to actually reach that goal. Now, I'm not saying that no one does, because yes, there is probably so many people that do. I'm just saying most people, from what I've seen at least online, will portray it as, hey, I reached this goal. And while yes, that is amazing and I'm so proud of you, there had to be some time where you were feeling discouraged or had some type of feelings about your goal. And if you truthfully didn't, I give you so much credit because that's amazing. But talking for myself and for people that I also know, like my family members, my friends, my boyfriend, I know that there is times where you are going to feel not motivated in what you have to do to reach your goal. All I'm saying is that is okay. We're human. We're supposed to have those feelings. We're supposed to feel discouraged sometimes. And like I said before, the number one way you can fix that is just believing in yourself. Now, it seems really clear to say this, but the more you believe in yourself, the more you will become more disciplined and also not question yourself. Now, this may seem a little confusing in the beginning, but once you actually start feeling it, it will all start to make sense. When my mom first told me that, I was like, there's no way that me just believing in myself will help me get to my goal faster. But when I actually saw it happening, I was like, wow. When I started showing up for myself more, when I started allowing myself to feel those feelings, but also sticking to my discipline and sticking to my actual goal, I started believing in myself more and showing up for myself even on the days of doubt, and ultimately it got me to my goal faster. My last tip is to allow yourself to have a treat or a reward at the end of your goal. Let's say it's going to take a few months or a few years to reach your goal. If you are having a long-term goal and it's going to take a few years, I would say have a reward every quarter of a step, meaning at 25%, at 50%, at 75%, and at 100%. If you are someone who has a shorter goal and maybe you'll reach it within a few months or within a year, I would say have a reward at your 50% mark and your 100% mark. It is a step of motivation. It is a step of discipline that will say, hey, I really want this when I'm halfway through, so I'm going to do this today. It's a push that I myself needed to be able to get through and be able to prove myself wrong. The number one thing that helped me become more disciplined throughout all of this is I wanted to prove myself wrong, and I was going to do whatever it took to get there. So yes, I included some rewards in it. Yes, I included some things at the end of my goal that would make me really happy. Like, for example, when I was trying to lose weight, at the end of it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on a shopping spree at the end of it, and I'm gonna buy all new clothes that I'm going to be very happy in and very confident in. Since I'm talking about weight loss, I do want to say that you're beautiful just the way you are. This is just my personal goals, my personal story, and what I struggled with, so I'm just sharing it with you, but please don't take it the wrong way. But that is what I told myself because I wasn't healthy and I knew I needed to get healthy. So in order to do that, that is what I did, and it honestly worked and did make me more disciplined. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that I'm disciplined, because as of 4 days ago, I wasn't. And I am on a kick to actually restart my fitness journey and actually fix my discipline altogether. So it's very normal to fall out of it, but I feel like the more and more it's talked about, the more and more it'll be easier to understand that a lot of people do fall out of it and it is okay. So with all that being said, let me know your goals down below. Let me know if this video helped and if you want to see more videos like it. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you really soon in my next video. And remember, you can do anything that you set your mind to as long as you believe in yourself.